With warm greetings of the day, we welcome class 8th students with new chapter. Although it's not a new chapter for this class section B and C, I have already taught them this chapter. For section A, again I'm saying this chapter 8, that is climate, natural vegetation and wildlife. So, what is the meaning of this chapter heading? The word climate means weather for a short duration of time, or the condition of the atmosphere for a short duration of time is called climate. When we talk about natural vegetation, so natural vegetation means the plants, that is herbs, shrubs, and trees which are growing in a particular region, we called about that natural vegetation. When we say wildlife world, wildlife is related to the wild animal residing in that area, and every region has its own wildlife. Let us go into details about this chapter now. So, when we say the climate of a country plays a major role in shaping the lives of its people. It determines, for example, the crops they grow, the agro based industries they develop. It influences their lifestyle, their food, the clothes they wear, and even many of their festivals. Climatic diversity, when we talk about India, generally has tropical monsoon type of climate that we have to underline. This tropical monsoon type of climate means we know Tropic of Cancer is passing through our country, and during this region, this type of climate, which is monsoon, it is related to the position, the location of India in the globe, which you have seen in the classes. That again I will be showing if it is required. Then, so the location of the country India, that is tropical monsoon type of climate, it is here. However, there are regional variations. Regional variations means different parts of India have different type of climate. The interior part of the country, especially in the north, has continental type of climate. Here the word continental means it is summers, where summers are very hot and winters are very cold, we call it continental type of climate. Areas having this type of climate Areas having this type of climate are found far from the ocean and seas. Therefore, moderating effect of these water bodies on the temperature of these areas is not significant. What does this line mean? The moderating effect of this on water bodies means continental. When we say continental, it is far away. For example, when we say Delhi, Delhi, no ocean is there. When we say Bijnor, Nagina, there is no any ocean. So far away from the ocean effects, so there cannot be less cold like we are having severe cold these days. Similarly, severe cold, severe heat in summer days is called continental type of climate. Therefore, the moderating effect of these water bodies on the temperature of these areas is not significant. Continental type of climate is characterized by hot summers and cold winters. So, I hope up till here you understood. Now, moving further, the coastal areas have more equable climate with much smaller differences between summer and winter temperatures. In the mountainous region, the climate is determined mainly by the altitude. There is a great deal of variation in the amount of rainfall too, from the wettest region in the northeast to the hot, dry Thar desert in the northwest. So, when we see the map in the previous chapter, I have told you about the maps of India. You know very well where is the desert and where is the coastal areas. So, depending upon their location, they have different type of climate. There are other factors also. Now, we will go through these factors determining climate of a place or in India. What are the factors which are determining? So these factors are here: latitude, altitude, position with respect to the mountains, distance from the sea. All these are important, so this you have to nicely understand. This let me see and let me tell you and explain you. The climate of a place is determined mainly by its latitude, altitude, position with respect to mountains, distance from the sea, and by winds. All these factors play a role in shaping the climate of India as a whole and in giving rise to the climatic variations found in different parts of India. Let us see what is latitude now. We are on this latitude point. When we say latitude with respect or with Tropic of Cancer running through almost the middle of the country, most of the India lies in the tropical and subtropical zone. So the temperature is generally quite high throughout the country. When we talk about altitude, the temperature of a place also depends upon its altitude. Places located on hills or mountains like Shimla, Srinagar, Udgamandalam, that is Uti, they are cooler than places in the plain. Uti is a Nilgiri hill. Uti is in the Nilgiri hill that is pleasant throughout the year, even though it is relatively close to the equator. So Uti is in south. Here we are talking about altitude, and altitude is height. Now, position with respect to mountains, let us see. To the north of India, the lofty Himalayas stand as a barrier against the cold winds from the northern Asia. They also force the mountain monsoon winds to shed their most of their moisture within the country. So Himalaya is like a wall. When we see the map of India, in the previous chapter, you can go through at the same time and you can see Himalaya. It is stopping the wind which are coming, which are very, what we can say, very severe wind which are coming from China side, that are very harmful. Otherwise, this full country would get frozen and no life would be possible. So they also force monsoon winds. Monsoon winds are coming from the Arabian Sea, and these moisture are shed. That is why we have a good monsoon and good rainy season within the country. Without this mountain barrier, the monsoon winds would have been blown to the Central Asia, and the northern India would have remained dry. So if this mountain Himalaya would not be there, then these issues can come. Now in figure 6.8, when you see windward side, this is windward side from where moist air is coming, and leeward side means this is leeward side where less rain is there. Here dry air is there, and here windward side is more rain is there. More rain in this side where I have made M. So this you can see. Mountain cause the relief rainfall, also called the orographic rainfall. Warm moist air forced to rise up in the windward side forms clouds and shed rain. The other sides, that is leeward side, is called rain shadow area. The Western Ghat influence the rainfall in the Western India. They force the rain-bearing winds from the Arabian Sea to shed their most of their moisture over the western slopes. So the winds cross over the west eastern side are dry. Hence, the places east of the Western Ghats like Pune, they are in the rain shadow area and receive low rainfall. So this side you can say it is C is there. This side I'm showing in the figure, it is C. So C is this, and Pune is there where I have written Pune. So most of the seaside only area will get rainfall, but when we are crossing the mountain, that side there will not be more rainfall or very less rainfall. It is having. So that is what we show the different nature of the rainfall. Now distance from the sea. When we talk about distance from the sea, this point we are reading now. Distance from the sea is the sea have a moderating effect on the temperature in the coastal areas. This means that areas close to the sea do not experience a large variation in temperature across the seasons. For example, Chennai experienced less variation in temperature than Delhi does. This is because Chennai lies on the coast while Delhi is far away from the sea. This is what we call distance from the sea. Winds. The winds that affect the climate of India and most are monsoon winds. These cause abundant rainfall in the country. Apart from the monsoon, other winds also affect the climate of India. Winds blowing in from the northwest during the winter month cause cold waves in northern India during summer, and hot and dry winds sweep over northern plains of India, causing a marked increase in temperature. So, different winds are also responsible for the climate of a place in India. Now we are reading about Indian seasons. Indian seasons, how many seasons are there? You know very well. If any doubt is there in the previous paragraph, you can comment me, you can ask me, and you can underline and ask me during the live classes, which we will have next week. Indian season, four major seasons are recognized in India, that is winter season, summer season, rainy season, monsoon season, and retreating monsoon season. So these are there. First of all, let us see winter season. In India, winter begins in December and lasts till February. January is the coldest month. In general, the temperature decreases from south to north. In January, peninsular India is quite warm, and northern plains are cool, while in northernmost part of the country, the minimum temperature mainly reaches to 0 degrees Celsius or below. So up till here, it's easy language. I hope you understood what is happening in winter. Then a high pressure zone builds up over North India in winter season because low temperature. Warm regions in the south have relatively low pressure. This causes cool, dry winds to blow from north to south. So winter is usually associated with dry weather or chilly breezes. Western disturbances. North India experience a moderate rainfall in winter. This rainfall is caused by the western disturbances. What are western disturbances? Underline. This is important point. You have to underline this full as it is underlined by pencil and it is in answers also. So western disturbances are cyclonic storm originating in the Mediterranean Sea. These travel eastward from Mediterranean region across Iran, Pakistan before entering the western India. So that is what we can say. From here it enters, as I have shown arrow, it enters India from Punjab portion. Once again, this is Punjab and arrow is showing the entry of the western disturbances that is coming from the Mediterranean Ocean. So figure 8.2 is showing condition in January. Note the areas of high pressure of the wind direction and the rainfall. So all this is taking place in this month or winter season. Now, what happened? We are talking about the western disturbances. Western disturbances cause snowfall in the higher reaches of the Himalayas and bring rains to the northern plains. They also cause cold waves in the northern India. Northeast monsoon we have now. We are reading now northeast monsoon. So, northeast monsoon is here. Let us see what it is describing. The southeastern coast of India receive most of its annual rainfall in the winter from the northeast monsoon winds blowing over Bay of Bengal. These winds pick up moisture when they reach the eastern Ghats and they are forced to shed their moisture, causing heavy rainfall. So that's happened in the northeast monsoon winds. Bay of Bengal, you know very well where is Bay of Bengal. I can show you. This is Bay of Bengal, and from here northeast monsoon winds are coming. Now let us see the summer condition. In summer, what is happening? In India, summer is characterized by hot, dry weather. It begins in March and continues up to May. Summer comes to the southern states first. By May, northern and western India are hottest region where maximum temperature rises above 45 degrees Celsius. These regions also experience a hot, dry and dusty winds called Lu, which blows during the day. So Lu is blowing during the day, and you all are familiar with this word Lu. I hope you have listened this term before also. Let us move to next column. A low pressure zone is characterized or created. A low pressure zone is created over northern India due to the high temperature, and this results in the local storm accompanied by rain and sometimes hail. They also called Kal Besaki. Kal Besaki in different place and mango showers on different place. So you can see now Kal Besaki in the eastern India and mango showers in many parts of India, especially in the north India. They bring down the temperature temporarily. Let us see what is monsoon now. We all are focusing on the monsoon. So just put your finger in the book while I'm reading. It will be easy for you. You have to concentrate with pencil. Underline at the time when I am saying. At the same time, you have to listen very carefully what word I'm pronouncing and what way I'm reading and what way I'm explaining. The monsoon or rainy season begins in June and lasts till September. By the end of the May, pressure over North India becomes lower due to the increasing temperature. This causes air from the high pressure zone over the Indian Ocean to move towards India as monsoon winds. The southeast trade winds attracted towards the low pressure zone crosses the equator and are deflected to the right. Due to the rotation of the earth, prevailing winds appear to be deflected to the right of their paths in the northern hemisphere and to the left of their paths in the southern hemisphere. So this when we say about the deflection, the word deflect means it is just like changing the direction. As you have studied in your physics, in refraction the rays are changing its position, while reflection towards the normal, away from the normal. Similarly, deflection is also changing the direction of winds. The winds reach India in the southwesterly winds. Since these winds called the advancing monsoon enter India from southwest, they are called the southwest monsoon. These winds are moisture laden and cause heavy rainfall in India. The season of heavy rainfall is also called monsoon. Most of the India receive rainfall during this season, in monsoon season. We have branches of monsoon in India peninsular. In the Indian peninsula splits the monsoon into two branches, that is the Arabian Sea branch and the Bay of Bengal branch. The Arabian Sea branch that is hits Kerala coast in the beginning of June. This branch begin heavy rainfall to the western coastal areas and western slopes of the western Ghats. It brings less rainfall to the rest of the southern India, which lies in the rain shadow area of the western Ghats. It gradually spread over the central and northern India. So up till here, if any doubt is there, you can ask me. The Bay of Bengal branch deflect towards Ganga Brahmaputra Delta by Arakan Yoma range of Myanmar. Unable to cross the Himalayas, then it moves westward, causing the rainfall along the Ganga plain. So the two branches of the southwest monsoon bring rain to most part of the country. That is why we have rainfall. You can see how monsoon clouds are shown over Noida place. Let us see retreating monsoon, then we will read land of monsoon. The monsoon retreats from India during the October and November. During the season of retreating monsoon, the pressure in the northwestern India start increasing. The change in pressure condition leads to the reversal in the direction of the monsoon winds. These winds now blow from the northeast to the southwest and are called retreating monsoon. I hope you all understood what is the meaning of retreating. Retreating means going back. If you do not know, note down. Going back. In October, sky begin to clear and there is a slight rise in the temperature. The humidity too is high due to the evaporation from the moist land. This combined heat and humidity, sometimes called the October heat, makes the weather very uncomfortable. However, by November, northern India starts cooling rapidly and by December, winter sets in. That is how retreating monsoon brings rainfall to the coastal Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. The rains are often accompanied by strong winds and cause large scale of destruction, especially in the eastern Ghat side. Why India is called land of monsoon? Let us see. Land of monsoon now. This land of monsoon means the most important season for India is undoubtedly the monsoon season of rains. The breaking of monsoon make headlines in the newspaper. A good monsoon means a good yield of agriculture. Thus, the economy of India, Indian agriculture. Thus, the economy of India or the Indian agriculture is greatly affected by the monsoon. Now, there is an activity for you, dear children. You can focus this activity and try to do. I'm reading. The change of season is not equally prominent in all parts of the country. Do you observe a seasonal change in your area? So, maybe your friend, those who are living in the south, you ask them. If you are having any communication, you ask them. There is not so much fog, there is not so much cold waves are not there that is happening in northern India. So that you can discuss with your classmates also during your free time when the school will open. That time you can give chance to classmates also. If changes are not prominent, try to understand why. So prominent means some changes are there to the nearby region, but when we go far in the south region, the changes found are a great deal. That is what we are talking about, the different relief of India. So distribution of rainfall, I will be continuing in my next video so that you can go through it nicely, and I will be explaining you this topic distribution of rainfall for section A. Still for section B and C, I say that they have to complete their question answers, which I have already done, and within short time I can share with you in coming videos also. So take care of that. By the time my wait for my other videos also which are coming in meanwhile. So take care, stay happy, stay safe, obey your parents. With these words, we are taking leave now. So thank you once again.